Ever wondered what secrets lie beneath your zodiac sign? What are those darker traits that most people don't talk about? Today, we're diving into the dark side of the zodiac. The shadow side, the hidden parts of each sign that often get swept under the rug. Ready to uncover the truth about yourself and those around you? Let's get started. But remember, none of us are perfect. This journey is about understanding, not judging. Understanding the shadows can help us grow, and maybe even laugh a little along the way. Aries, the bold ram. You're known for your courage, your energy. But what's the shadow side? When that fire burns a little too hot, Aries can become impulsive, reckless even. You might leap before you look, and sometimes, just sometimes, that honesty of yours can come across as blunt. Ever heard the phrase, cutting with words? Yeah, Aries, that's your specialty. Let me tell you about Jake, an Aries who worked at a tech startup. Jake's enthusiasm was unmatched. He was always the first to jump into new projects. But his impulsiveness got him into trouble. Once, he launched a new feature without consulting the rest of the team. It ended up backfiring, costing them both time and resources. Jake realized he needed to rein in his impulses and learn to communicate better with his team. Another time, during a meeting, Jake interrupted a colleague with his honest feedback, and it ended up demotivating them. He learned that while honesty is valuable, timing and delivery matter just as much. Sometimes, hitting the brakes is not a sign of weakness, it's smart. Next time that impatience kicks in, take a breath. Use that fire to forge connections, not burn bridges. Taurus. Solid, dependable. Stubborn. When a Taurus digs in their heels, it's like trying to move a mountain. Change? No, thank you. Comfort zone? Yes, please. You value stability, but at your worst, that desire for comfort can make you resistant to any kind of change. Ever been told you hold grudges? Well, that's because when you're hurt, you don't let it go easily. Take Sarah, for example. Sarah, a Taurus, loved her routines. She had her favorite coffee shop, her daily schedule, and anything that disrupted her comfort made her uneasy. When her company decided to restructure, she resisted, hard. She refused to adapt to new team roles and processes, even if they were meant to improve efficiency. It wasn't until she saw her colleagues thriving in the new setup that she decided to give it a chance. And guess what? She found new ways to grow and even discovered a new passion for mentoring junior staff. Remember, Taurus, change is the only constant in life. Letting go of old hurts and stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't mean losing your roots, it means growing stronger ones. Gemini, the social butterflies. Adaptable, witty, and sometimes, a little too scattered. The twin sides of your personality can make you unpredictable, and let's face it, sometimes even a bit two-faced. It's not that you mean harm, but in trying to keep up with everyone, you might leave some people behind, unsure of who the real you is. Meet Alex. Alex is a Gemini who loves being the center of attention at parties. One moment, he's the life of the conversation, and the next, he's off talking to someone else, leaving his friends feeling neglected. At work, Alex would start multiple projects but lose interest halfway, moving on to the next exciting idea. Eventually, one of his closest friends confronted him about how his behavior made them feel. It was a wake-up call for Alex. He began to realize the importance of depth in his relationships and projects. Gemini, being open to new things is great, but consistency counts too. Being honest with yourself and others about how you truly feel, that's where the magic lies. Cancer, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You are nurturing, empathetic. But when hurt, you retreat into that shell. Your sensitivity can sometimes turn into moodiness, and your care? It becomes clinginess. You give so much that when you don't receive the same in return, it hurts deeply. Take Emma, a Cancer who cared deeply for her friends. She was always there, offering support, but when she felt left out, she withdrew completely, expecting her friends to chase after her. She'd often ghost her friends without explaining why, hoping they would understand and come to her rescue. It took a lot of reflection for Emma to realize that her friends couldn't read her mind. When she finally opened up, she found that honest communication worked wonders. Here's the thing, Cancer, emotional boundaries can be healthy. It's okay to nurture, but don't forget, you deserve love too, without having to cling to get it. Leo, the charismatic lion, the life of the party. You shine so brightly. But what happens when that light casts a shadow? The dark side of Leo can be arrogance. Your pride, while it makes you confident, can also make it hard for you to see the needs of others. You crave admiration, but sometimes, that hunger turns into seeking validation at any cost. Let me introduce you to Mark. Mark, a Leo, loved being in charge at work. He thrived on praise and admiration. But when a coworker succeeded, Mark found it hard to celebrate them. Instead, he felt threatened, even going as far as to subtly undermine their achievements. It wasn't until he realized that true leadership means lifting others up that he began to share the spotlight. He started recognizing his colleagues' achievements openly, and this, in turn, made his team stronger and more loyal. Leo, true leadership isn't about always being in the spotlight. Sometimes, stepping back and letting others shine with you can be the most empowering move of all. Virgo, the perfectionist. Detail-oriented, organized. But when that need for order goes too far, Virgo becomes hypercritical of yourself and everyone around you. You strive for perfection, but remember, the pursuit of perfection can often lead to anxiety and burnout. Meet Claire. Claire, a Virgo, was known for her meticulous attention to detail. But when a project at work didn't go as planned, she couldn't let it go. She picked apart every mistake, including her own, until she was overwhelmed. Claire's friends noticed she was becoming withdrawn and irritable, constantly overthinking every little flaw. It took her some time to realize that perfection wasn't worth sacrificing her peace of mind or her relationships. Claire learned to set boundaries for herself, accepting that good enough could sometimes be the best outcome. Virgo, the world isn't perfect, and that's okay. Allowing imperfections makes room for joy, creativity, and spontaneity. Libra, you want harmony above all. Diplomatic, fair. But the darker side? Indecisiveness. You're so focused on keeping the peace that sometimes you struggle to make decisions, or worse, you lose yourself trying to please others. Take Rachel, a Libra. Rachel was always the one to mediate between friends, never wanting anyone to be upset. But when it came time to make a big career decision, she froze. She spent weeks consulting everyone, wanting their approval before making a choice. She was so worried about how others would feel that she forgot to consider her own happiness. It wasn't until she had a candid conversation with a mentor that she realized she had to prioritize herself. Libra, remember, true balance means including yourself in the equation. Speak up, decide, and let your voice be heard without fearing conflict. Scorpio, the intense. You feel everything deeply, and that passion is incredible. Until it's not. The dark side of Scorpio is jealousy and secrecy. When you're hurt, you withdraw into a storm of emotion, and sometimes, you lash out. Trust is hard for you, and the walls you build are thick. Let's talk about Daniel, a Scorpio. Daniel was fiercely loyal, but when his partner started spending time with a new group of friends, he felt threatened. Instead of talking about it, he withdrew and let his jealousy fester. He started acting cold and distant, hoping his partner would notice and fix things. It wasn't until he opened up about his fears that he realized vulnerability could strengthen their bond. Scorpio, vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength. Letting others in is scary, but it's also the gateway to the true, deep connection you crave. Sagittarius, the adventurer. You love freedom, new ideas, and experiences. But sometimes, that pursuit of freedom makes you restless, a commitment phobe, even. You're honest, but sometimes your bluntness hurts people without you even realizing. Take Mike, a Sagittarius. Mike loved exploring new places and meeting new people, but when his partner wanted to settle down, he panicked. He feared losing his freedom, avoiding conversations about the future and making his partner feel insecure. Eventually, he realized that commitment didn't mean losing himself, it meant sharing his adventures with someone else. He learned to communicate his fears openly, and together they found a balance that worked for both. Sagittarius, adventure doesn't always mean moving from place to place. Sometimes the greatest journey is the one that takes you deep into your relationships. Commitment isn't confinement, it's a different kind of freedom. Capricorn, the achiever. You climb, you strive, you succeed. But sometimes, you lose sight of the people along the way. The dark side of Capricorn is workaholism, an obsession with success, and being seen as cold because of your single-minded focus. Meet James, a Capricorn. James worked tirelessly to build his business, but in doing so, he distanced himself from his family. He missed family dinners, birthdays, and important moments. It wasn't until his daughter asked why he was never home that he realized what he was sacrificing. James decided to set boundaries at work, ensuring he spent quality time with his family. Capricorn, remember, success means nothing if you're alone at the top. Take time to appreciate those who support you. True success is shared. Aquarius, the visionary. Independent, forward-thinking. But sometimes that independence becomes detachment. You care about humanity as a whole, but can forget about individuals. Your need for freedom can make you come off as aloof, or even emotionally distant. Consider Olivia, an Aquarius. Olivia was passionate about social causes, always advocating for change. She was great at organizing rallies and inspiring people, but her friends often felt she was emotionally distant, rarely opening up about her own struggles. It wasn't until she allowed herself to be vulnerable with them, sharing her fears and insecurities, that she realized caring for humanity starts with caring for those closest to you. Aquarius, let people in, share your heart as much as you share your ideas. Pisces, the dreamer. Compassionate, intuitive. But when the dream becomes too real, Pisces can drift away. The dark side of Pisces is escapism, a tendency to avoid reality when it gets too hard. You can become lost in your fantasies, avoiding the here and now. Take Lily, a Pisces. When life got stressful, Lily often found herself escaping into daydreams or binge-watching movies, anything to avoid the pressure. She missed deadlines and avoided difficult conversations, preferring the comfort of her imagination. It wasn't until she started practicing mindfulness and grounding techniques that she learned to face her challenges head-on, finding strength in the present moment. Pisces, dreams are powerful, but living in the present is where true magic happens. Ground yourself, and bring your vision to the real world. Every sign has its light, and every sign has its shadow. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to understand, accept, and grow. The dark side isn't something to be feared, it's just a part of who we are. By bringing our shadows into the light, we can transform ourselves into better versions of who we were meant to be. Which of these traits resonated with you? Leave a comment below, sharing can help us all grow. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe for more, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss out on a journey into the stars. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, embrace every part of yourself, even the shadows.